And guys, we are back with the third game of today's second set of the OSSL September Split semi-finals. Now it's best team AU won the last game after they did get uh they did get beaten in the first game, but yeah, now it's best team AU on the blue side with the Alpha Void, Team Alpha Void on purple side. Now, uh, Invis, what do you think is going to happen in this game? We've got some similar bands coming up, but yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, well, I don't really know. We've seen a great last two games, and already we have mostly the same bands, but once again we have a change up in bands. So we see the Zillion actually banned out by Team Alpha Void, played by Best Supporter EU in the previous two games. So yeah, they're really not happy. They don't want to deal with that Chrono Shift again. So yeah, get that away and make sure that they can't use that Chrono Shift to their advantage once again, and see what actually Best Support Oz does actually have up his sleeve in terms of other picks, and the Lucian banned out again. So of course the Kha'Zix from previous game now left open and available to Schönfire, but the Oriana banned last game by Best Team AU. They really don't want to see Alpha Void picking that up, so they do first pick it for themselves.
Yeah, and Total is going to get the Corki this time, as well
Hmm.
as Delicious getting his Lee Sin back.
Yeah, so Lee Sin being picked up in the second round of picks all three games, and that does mean that Schönfire is able to get on his Kha'Zix, which has been banned in the previous two games. Uh, Corki, once again, a fairly contested pickup between these two teams, has been played in all three games by, this is the one in each, one, in fact, both winning teams have been playing Corki. Um, and Vibes once again on his rise. Once again, first picking that, and we'll have to see whether Jimmy wants to go as his Shen against that for a third time in a row.
Yeah, but Schönfire with that scary Kha'Zix coming out.
Yeah, so I guess we're about to find out why this has been banned in the previous two games, and whether it was worth it to ban the Cillian over the Kha'Zix. And Frey once again on that Syndra. I'm going to guess that Schönfire probably isn't going to give him a free lane this game. Of course, last game, Schönfire at level 3, I believe, came into his lane with the double buffs and made a bit of a misplay and got stunned under tower. And Frey was really able to use that advantage to really run over Oath in that lane. But on this Syndra for the second game now, and Playmaker once again on this Braum. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And it looks like Best Support Oz is going to be pulling out a Janna as opposed to with his Zillion band away.
Yeah, curious to see how this will go. But Beast AD looking on that Ezreal, but now he's hovering over the Cogmore. Will be a fairly viable pick, as Cogmore is one of the stronger AD carries in the current meta. No, he's gone back to the Ezreal.
Yeah, so we'll just wait and see when they until they do choose to lock these picks in. Um, but at the moment, it's looking as though the Best Team AU is quite vulnerable to a Syndra engage. Being able to land that stun from long range. And if you don't have anything to block the unleashed power, like an intervention or a wind wall or anything like that, and their team is actually fairly squishy. They actually don't have any tank, like true tank on their team. Um, really, Rise is probably the tankiest member on the entire team, and all of them are vulnerable to an unleashed power from Frey. So if he manages to get a good stun into a couple of dark spheres and the unleashed power, he's going to be able to take out any member he wants on Best Team AU. And the final pick, of course, is that Maokai that we haven't actually seen. I don't think we've seen it all today, and I don't think we've even seen it on the ban list. It might have been banned in our previous set. I don't actually remember. But Jimmy, not a fan of that Shen matchup. Going to go for the Maokai this time.
Yeah, he was getting in a fair bit of trouble in that matchup. So he's just thought, hey, why don't I go Maokai?
So Maokai going to have a lot more sustain against Rise than Shen will. Mostly because Rise, of course, relying on those spells to be able to deal damage, of course, triggering Maokai's passive, being able to keep that sustain up. Probably going to go to a similar style build, most likely rush that. Well, we've seen a lot of Maokai's rush the Rod of Ages. He's probably going to go for either a Rod of Ages or a Spirit Visage, and we do actually have a disconnect here from. I'm not sure what's going on. See if we can find out for you what's happening. Sorry. Hello?
Yep.
Are you in the game or what?
Yes, I'm in the game.
Okay, okay, it might have just been me. I seem to have disconnected because I'm no longer in Champion Select.
Oh yeah,
So,
I'm no longer in Champion Select as well. It's
okay.
best support AU that's actually disconnected.
Okay, I seem to have actually disconnected from the client because I can't see or type in the chat. So I guess I'll just sit here until I'm able to spectate the game. And hopefully you can have a better idea than I do of what's actually going on.
Oh, you're still in the spectator lobby.
Yeah, so I'll be fine. I'm just disconnected from the chat, so I don't actually know why we've had to restart the champion select or what. But I'm very much assuming that we will be going in with the same picks and bans for the final game. After we just have best support AU connecting now, and hopefully we'll be back into this game shortly.
Yeah, apparently Shern picked a banned skin. Not sure
Oh,
what that's about.
oh, okay, okay, that's fair enough. Um, so I guess we're just waiting for them to restart the champion select, and hopefully we'll just be able to fly through picks and bans very, very quickly because everyone knows what everyone else is playing. There we go.
Yep. So yeah, now that's going back to the bans from before.
Yeah, so we will
Let's
have the
see.
same team comps on both sides. And of course, this is the our final game of the day. The second semi-final, and this is game 3 in a best of 3. So, Team Alpha Void and Best Team AU both taking 1 win each so far, and we will be getting into this third game very, very soon.
Yep, and everything has been just getting locked in now. Um, just gonna have to wait until game goes through now. I'm not too sure about the matchup at mid. Frey against Vibes. No, Frey against Frey Syndra against Oath's Oriana. Because Oath's Oriana, wait, was that Oath's Oriana we saw in that first game?
It was. So best team AU have been prioritizing that Oriana as a very high priority pick. The 2 times they've been on blue side, they first picked it, and the time that they were on red side, they banned it. They really, really don't want to be playing against that Oriana. So putting a lot of emphasis onto that Oriana pick. As for the matchup with Syndra, similar to the Ari matchup, it's fairly even and it's a fairly skill-based matchup. Both champions have a lot of zone control in not so much, well, somewhat in team fights, but mostly in lane. Oriana with that ball, she basically has 2 points of zone. You have to respect, the zone around Oriana. Her auto attacks do hurt a lot, thanks to that clockwork wind up passive. And of course, the zone around the ball that you just have to respect because the ball is most of Oriana's damage. But of course, Syndra, a very, very lane dominant champion, able to use those dark spheres from long range, and those they hurt. If you get hit by a few of them, they start to hurt. Of course, Oath with those shields going to be able to block off a bit of that damage, but yeah, just overall a fairly even and skill-based matchup. I don't expect to see too many one-on-one kills happening unless we'll just have to. I'm guessing it'll be mostly the jungler attention that causes the action in the mid lane, as has been the case in previous games.
Yeah, so we're just gonna go into the late time now. It's gonna be the Caitlyn Janna lane. I haven't really seen that lane played since season 2, I believe,
Really?
in
So
actual competitive. I haven't really seen it much.
it yeah, it's not the most popular of lanes, but of course Janna coming into popularity again recently um, has been quite prominent in competitive play. For those who've been keeping up with Worlds, I believe approaching a 50% pick rate, or like above a 50% pick rate. So yeah, definitely coming back into popularity recently. The just the disengage is really strong, especially against this team of, you see the Lee Sin and the Maokai both really required to get in there to engage properly and to be able to do their work in a team fight. So that Monsoon going to be able to reset that fight, uh, and yeah, Caitlyn, of course, with that long range, going to be one of the better beneficiaries of that attack damage from the Eye of the Storm, and just a lot of trading potential with that shield and extra attack damage. Janna Caitlyn it's a very strong lane. It's a very strong lane.
Yeah, and the burst. Do you reckon they'll be able to negate the very hard engage that's going to come out of the Alpha Void here?
Well, so they have the Monsoon, which has a good potential to reset the fight on from most of the members of Alpha Void. But I was commenting in our previous champion select before this one had to be remade, that Frey's Syndra has free reign on just about anyone on Best Team AU here. Um, you know, and of course, unlike the other initiation on the side of Best Team AU, Syndra doesn't have to get close to be able to assassinate people. She doesn't have to be in melee range. The Monsoon might be able to save someone, but Best Support AU would have to be right next to the target that Syndra wants to be on. And Frey's really uh, probably not going to be able to have to worry too much about that Monsoon disengage if he wants to look to pick off a target with the unleashed power. And so, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. But this game is once again shaping up to be a close one, and I'm very much looking forward to see who is able to take out this final game of the day.
Yeah, and we will be going into the loading screen now. Uh, I'm just so keen to see what's going to happen with Frey and Oath because they've been at each other's throats in the past 2 games in that mid lane.
Mm. And of course, the previous 2 games, the matchup has been decided by Schönfire and Delicious. So we'll have to see how much attention they decide to pay to that mid lane. Again, there's really opportunity for each of them to go to any lane they want. No lane is particularly gankable, and no lane is particularly not gankable, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
There isn't like a Teemo that you just can't gank because he has mushrooms everywhere, or a Nidalee that just pounces away. But at the same time, there isn't like a Mordekaiser who's just screams gank me. All of these laners have some level of disengage from ganks and also some level of assistance with ganks, but none of them have are particularly susceptible to ganks or particularly disengagey. So really, junglers, both Schönfire and Delicious, have the option to kind of pick and choose which lane they want to try and help out.
yeah, and now both teams going to look to well, actually, Best Team AU going to look to more defend that bottom side, but they will spot Turtle and Playmaker just trying to get that ward into that Tribe Rush and maybe a catch, but yeah, they're splitting up to defend. No, Best Team AU are actually going to head into the Alpha Void's blue side jungle now. They're going to rotate accordingly towards Best Team AU's blue side, but
Yeah,
there
so
is no wards on it, so they can't actually tell if they are going to steal that off them. Actually, I
yeah,
think they're
so
going to
just
rotate back.
yeah, Best Team AU just getting some deep wards down, and Team Alpha Void recognizing that and getting their own wards down in the blue side of Best Team AU. And